My husband has ruined both our lives by asking me to double up his lunch serving for work. I'm writing this on a throwaway account because I haven't fully decided on divorce yet, but I'm 95% sure. My name is Maria, I'm 26, and my husband, Jake, is 25. We've been married for almost 2 years and have a 6-month-old baby. I work part-time to supplement our income and to pay for the legal process of getting Jake documented. We were fortunate that it seemed like an easy process that would take maybe 2 years max for his residency. Now I'm going to cancel everything and ask for a divorce. My daily routine used to be waking up 1.5 hours before him in the morning to make his lunch and pack everything for his workday. I'd also have his breakfast, coffee, and clothes ready for him so he could wake up, eat, get dressed, and head out within 30 minutes. He used to be satisfied with the meals I packed: freshly made chicken in either honey buffalo, lemon pepper or salad, or some sort of chicken wraps. Pure, healthy food. I did this because I wanted to make his life easier and show him I cared and loved him. I've done this since we first moved in together over 3 years ago. Recently, Jake started asking for more food because he was still hungry after lunch, which I thought was odd. I explained it away, thinking maybe he was bulking up or something. I started including leftovers from dinner, which caused me to go without lunch sometimes. Being a breastfeeding mom, I can't miss meals without it affecting my milk supply. I found myself waiting for food to be ready, or being late for work, because I had to pack enough for both of us. One day, while packing his lunch, I found an unrecognized second fork in his lunchbox. When I asked about it, he said he found it in the kitchen at work and brought it home. I felt uneasy but brushed it off. Then, I decided to surprise him at work with dessert and a visit from the baby. When I arrived at Jake's workplace, I found out why he wanted more food. His coworker, Sarah, who he told me no longer worked there, was eating the lunch I prepared for him. Jake was eating the leftovers. I didn't cause a scene. Instead, I took pictures and added them to a folder of evidence I'd been collecting of his indiscretions. I drove home crying and packed my things. I took the bassinet and everything I needed for the baby and went to my sister's place. I told my sister and brother-in-law everything and showed them the conversations where Jake claimed Sarah no longer worked with him. Normally, I text Jake throughout the day, so he started texting and calling to see if I was okay and to ask what was for dinner. He got home an hour earlier than usual, which made me question if he'd been lying about his work hours too. He saw that my things and the baby's things were gone, along with a letter saying he had 7 days to leave my house. I left the printed photos of him and Sarah eating lunch together under the letter. Later that night, I informed our immigration lawyer that I no longer needed his services. I also asked if I could transfer our contract and the money I'd paid to his divorce and family practice. Unfortunately, that wasn't possible, so he said he would leave our case open until we got a response for our next appointment from the government. If we hadn't worked things out by then, he would cancel everything. Jake went insane when he found out I was canceling the immigration process. If he doesn't get his papers, he has to choose between his daughter and his parents. He's been begging me to reconsider, but I blocked him on everything. He came to my brother-in-law's house drunk with his buddies, who were all scared off by my BIL and his shotgun. I feel lost, broken, and depressed. I even have security at work to make sure he doesn't show up there. I've gone back to check on the house, and surprisingly, there's no damage. His things are gone. At least that's a relief. I'm not looking for advice. I know I'm not going back. There's no longer any trust, and my mental health wouldn't be safe in that relationship. I can't have my daughter grow up with that kind of relationship being an example. I just needed to put this out there to solidify in my brain that this is a pattern of disrespect. I've been budgeting, trying to make things last, sometimes eating less or skipping meals to pay bills, the lawyer, his gym membership, and supplements. I lose sleep ensuring the house is spotless while the baby sleeps. I've gone from an independent, educated career woman to a 1950s housewife with a job and school, all because I blindly fell for this man. When I say I feel stupid, that's an understatement. Update 1. It's been almost 3 weeks since I posted. I've been busy sorting out my life. Yes, I left him. I also got a full checkup and found out I had an infection, which confirmed his unfaithfulness. During my pregnancy, I was tested for everything, and I was clean. This infection was new and transmissible. I confronted Jake and let him speak his mind. He said he never meant to hurt me. He loves our daughter and me. But he enjoyed the attention from Sarah. It was new and exciting, taking his mind off the stress of bills, the baby, and my emotional state. He admitted that life had gotten boring, and Sarah entertained him. The infection, he claimed, was from peeing outside without washing his hands. He said Sarah was just one of the guys and didn't like men. He insisted he only gave her lunch that one time because she forgot hers. He would never stoop so low as to break his family. Once I showed him my MyChart results, he admitted he had been lying. He's now staying at a trailer at the dairy where he works. Sarah is engaged and getting her papers through her fiancé. I'm back living on my own with the baby, who is doing great. I have another office job lined up for January and have applied to several universities. My grandma said she'd move with me to help. Some days are long and hard. I miss him, but I've been distracting myself by organizing my home and getting rid of stuff. I won't lie and say I'm doing great. On my days off, I don't get out of bed. People at work have noticed my slowed pace and offered me time off, which I might take now that rumors have spread. Thank you for all the support. Although some people called me names, I appreciate the kindness and support from others. Update 2. Jake called and apologized again. He said he talked to some guys at work about free clinics and found out Sarah had been sleeping with a few of them. He seemed more sincere this time, holding himself accountable and saying he messed up. He begged for a second chance, saying he misses the routine and our daughter. His apology choked me up. He said he felt exhausted coming home to us because the baby would cry to be held by him, and I would often leave meals for him to eat while I went to work. He said he now realizes how much he took for granted. But hearing this solidified my decision to never go back to him. He saw our routine as a chore. I told him he could see the baby at my mom's place. I couldn't talk to him anymore. I've never cried so hard in my life. It's raining today, and I think I'll call in sick to work and take a few days off. Update 3 and legal advice. The woman Jake cheated with is now harassing me. She punctured a hole in one of my tires, wrote "homewrecker" on my front window, and keeps calling me from different numbers. She threatened to ruin my car like I ruined her relationship. I called the police, but they said there's nothing they can do without proof. My mom and stepdad are putting up cameras, and I'm borrowing my nephew's car, which I'm parking at my neighbor's house. I don't want to leave my home in case she tries something against it. The most the police could do was patrol the area. I'm in limbo regarding legal decisions about Jake's green card. I feel safe in limbo because making a decision feels too overwhelming right now. I don't want to make any decisions that could lead to my daughter losing her dad. Cheating is something I don't want any involvement in. I've seen it ruin lives. No matter how much I miss Jake, I know I don't miss the person he has become. I'm trying to stick to the logical conclusion, not the emotional one. I want my daughter to have her dad, but I also know I can't go back to that toxic relationship. I'm trying to find a way to move forward, for my sake and my daughter's.